What's up guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding, but also about showing you some scientific stuff, like I'm going to show you today. So I did a DEXA scan, and I promised you guys probably a couple of weeks ago already that I would make a video about my own personal DEXA scan. Now, for people who don't know what a DEXA scan is, it's actually an abbreviation of a couple of words. Let's see here. For dual energy X-ray absorptiometry. I'm Dutch, so excuse the pronunciation, but it basically stands for a scan which you lay under. I'm showing you the picture right now, that actually scans your body using X-ray radiation. And using X-ray radiation, you are actually able to, measure different densities, different materials, and from using the right software and calculations, you can actually find out how much of your body is muscle or lean body mass, how much is fat body mass, and how much you have bone mass, your bone density, stuff like that. And these scans are very accurate, and the reason why I love scans like this is because they are objective. No matter what the opinion of someone else is, it doesn't matter, because the scan simply tells you the truth, compared to, for example, a skin fold measurement, which is objective and subjective at the same time, because it depends on the person who does the actual measurement. To me, that is a little more inaccurate compared to an actual DEXA scan. So about 2 weeks ago, on the 29th of January, I did this scan because I was about 6 weeks out from my show that I will do. Right now I'm 4 weeks out from the show, and I just wanted to test objectively what my total lean body mass is, because I'm going to do a classic physique contest where it has a weight limit. So knowing what my lean body mass is without the fat is very useful. And I also wanted to know the actual fat percentage, because I did a skin fold measurement about 2 weeks beforehand, and it said 5.5%, just about. It's, always a guesstimate, an estimate, because of the person doing it. It always depends on how hard you pinch skin, etc. So I wanted to do a scan to make sure that the values were correct. So I scanned all of these papers, which has all the information on it. There's a lot of papers here, and I scanned them all for you so we can both look at the results and see what we think, because they are very interesting indeed. So you can see right here, which is pretty cool, me laying under this scan, very slowly scanning my body. It actually had to take a longer time because it thought I had an unhealthy amount of body weight, because it kind of depends on the BMI, how fast you are scanned. But here you can see my skeleton starting to form, which is pretty awesome. So this is the actual scan that I was under. Alright, so let's get to the results themselves. This is what you get. This is the first page, and of course beforehand, before doing the scan, you have to say what your length is, what your weight is. My weight at that time was about 130 kilograms. I weighed myself that morning, but the machine itself also weighs you, but this is just to get the initial data in. My length is 189 centimeters, or about 6'2 to 6'3, in between there, and my age 24.7. So let's move on to the next slide here. This just basically tells you, an explanation of what's happening. This is not my actual body. This is just an example. You will see that later on. But let's move on to the next page. This is not really that interesting, so let's go to the next stage. So it actually weighed me at 113.6 kilograms, and the total weight of my lean body mass 104.5 kilograms. We will go into more detail on the next slide here, and this one is very interesting as well. So let's zoom in on this one for just a little bit. So right here you can see the region arms and region legs. So basically the difference in mass between the left and the right arm and the left and the right legs. Unfortunately, I cannot really look at the arms because my right arm was not was not scanned 100%. You can see it on the picture that I'm going to show you very soon, but I cannot take this as a literal data point because the difference, I cannot see the difference in real life. Plus on the scan you can see that my right arm isn't 100% included in the scan, but you will see that on the picture. However, the legs, you can see that my right leg has 18.2 kilograms of lean body mass and my left leg has 16.3 lean body mass kilograms. So the difference is quite large, almost 1.9 kilograms in mass. And yes, more people have told me that my right leg is bigger than my left leg, so I will definitely do a lot more unilateral movements. But this is just one small advantage of doing a scan like this. If you're doubting between the parts of your body, your symmetry, your proportions, doing a scan like this will give you objective data. Next slide is actually the bone mineral density, which is also pretty interesting. So let's actually take a look at that. And don't worry, we will get to the body fat percentage very soon. So this is basically a small graph telling you where in the healthy zone you might be, or in the unhealthy zone, depending on your lifestyle, of course. And this is my actual skeleton. You'll see a clearer picture very soon, but you can see that my left arm is pretty much on, in the picture, but my right arm isn't. So this little part right here isn't included in the scan, which means that it thinks that my right arm is smaller than the left. That is the only downfall or disadvantage about a scan like this, is that I didn't really fit in the scan. So I'm going to try to position my arms a little different next time to get a better in a more accurate result. So what you can see here, my bone mineral density is pretty high because it is in the healthy zone. Really on top, really can go a little higher than that. But this just means that doing a lot of weightlifting, getting in your minerals and your vitamins, really makes sure that your bone density is high, and it lowers the chance of any bone disease or osteoporosis on a later age. So that is also very nice to know for sure. And this is where the interesting stuff happens. We will zoom in on this for sure. So you don't only get your fat percentage of your entire body, but also of each body part individually, and also the lean body mass, which is in this column right here, of each body part individually. So that is pretty awesome for sure. And also the bone mass at the same time. So first of all, let's go to the very bottom. We have in total 4.5% of body fat in my entire body, which correlates to 4.98 kilograms or about 5 kilograms of fat in my body, which you can still lose to basically make weight. So my lean body mass without the bone, right, is 104.58 kilograms. So with the bone it is 108.5. Now this will be an interesting scenario because for my competition, the classic physique contest that I will do, my weight limit is 108.9 kilograms, which means that I would almost have to have 0% body fat to make weight. But as you guys might or may not know, this tells you about your lean body mass, right? But water weight in the scan is also included as lean body mass. So if you hold a lot of water, if you can still lose a lot of water, then you can actually go to a lower weight without losing actual muscle, but still make weight, and then load up with carbohydrates and water and get to a full stage in your body again. And that is the risk that a lot of people take. A lot of classic physique people and a lot of weight class athletes, they take a risk by losing a lot of water weight, right, to make weight, so they look actually flat. The muscle volume is reduced because you have less water in your body and you temporarily weigh less, but then the trick is to get the water exactly back where you want it, inside the muscle and not under the skin. And that is exactly what I will attempt to do. So As you can see, your fat percentage is 4.5%. I'm really very low in this graph right here. And this is my actual body, right? This is the actual picture of my body under the scan, which is very nice to see because you can see the proportions, you can see the muscle mass, and I've always found it very interesting to see something like this. I've never in my life have been taken an x-ray except for my teeth at the dentist, but never have I seen my body like this. So that is pretty awesome for sure. So let's go to the next slide. This is the last slide we have, and it tells you the bone mass density of each of your body parts. For example, your arm on the right, arm on the left, your legs, your rib cage, your pelvis, your spine, your head, etc. And you can see the total weight of your bones. And I had a pretty heavy skeleton, the operator told me. But let's go to the previous slide again and actually show you guys the fat percentage. So 4.5%, right? That seems very low. A lot of people think that is almost impossible to achieve. You usually hear about 6 or 5% on stage that most people attempt to get, but in my personal body I know that I hold more water than fat. So when I don't look ready for stage yet, it is not because of the fat mass, but it's more because of the water weight that I hold, which is very easy to get rid of without diuretics, actually, without diuretics, because that is dangerous. During the last couple of weeks, doing manipulation of sodium and potassium and carbs, etc., doing cardio, water itself, you've taken a lot of water, skip it the very last day. You have a lot of techniques to get rid of water weight under the skin and keep it inside the muscle. But I'll make a video about that for sure. But let's see how I looked at the day or the week of this scan with a body fat percentage of 4.5% so that you guys know what it looks like. Alright, so this is the first picture that I took actually 3 days before the scan. You can see that I'm pretty lean, especially in the chest area and the arm area. This was after a back workout, I believe. I'm not sure anymore, but it doesn't really matter. Usually I look a lot leaner with a pump. You can see the different kinds of pictures right here. Took a lot of different ones like I always like to do. This is the back. Now usually with the back you can see that I have less definition because I usually hold the most fat and water in my back as most guys do, and also in my legs. I do have some leg pictures that I will show you. But first we've got a couple of gym pictures again. So this is the body that corresponds to a 4.5% body fat, right? So these are the pictures that correspond to that, which to me is very interesting to see because I had no idea what number corresponds to the actual look of your body. And then when we go to my Instagram, we can kind of see the pictures that I posted around that date. You can see that I just showed you these pictures. Let's see, I have this is my back picture actually with better lighting than the one before. And let me see here. This is also taken before the scan, this one right here. And leg picture is coming up. And right here, this one was taken, let's see the date on this one, January 7th. So you can see this is what the legs looked like in the month of the scan. So this is basically the definition that I show at 4.5% body fat. And by the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, my tag is at Wesley Vissers. I show you a lot of my shape updates, but especially on my story, I show you what I eat, the supplements I use, my daily life a little bit, and lots more. And also discount codes on any items, supplements, and workout clothes on vintagegenetics.com. Alrighty guys, so that was the video about my DEXA scan. I just thought it was interesting to show you what my shape is at 4.5% body fat. Now, of course, depending on how much water weight you carry, the percentage itself can differ, but if you do it multiple times in a row, you can see a very accurate and trustworthy progression of your body. And, you know, this is my shape right now. So that is about 4 weeks out. Actually, I cannot finish this without a vacuum. 1 second. One thing you have to do every single morning, 50 seconds, 3 sets. Breathe out. That is a vacuum. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting to show you my body statistics, the honest truth. And now that I'm 4 weeks out, I will do more nutrition videos, supplement videos, and a lot more about how I'm going to get ready for this first classic physique show. So a lot more is coming, you guys, and I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay golden.